minutes later.
Things have gone badly. I finished the fuel system. I thought I would go for a drive around the block, and actually all was going relatively well for a little while, and then the gearbox decided to stop doing gearbox things and left me stranded in the middle of the road. So luckily a neighbour has helped me out and we've towed it back to the drive, so now I've just got to try and get this car out and that car back in. Well, I've got it back on the drive. I'm pretty lucky that I wasn't very far away, but I guess I was only going around the block, so just in case something like this happened. I'm pretty glad I bought this winch. I thought I'd only use it once to get the car up the drive when I towed it home, or when I brought it home anyway. So that was a good investment. That was about 80 quid, I think, and that's saved me quite a lot of drama. So as for why it stopped selecting gears. Now if we look in here, we've got some ATF that's gone all milky. So either the ATF has mixed with whatever water or contaminated oil that was still in there, and it just hasn't got the viscosity to select the gears, or the clutch packs have been affected by the water and aren't clutching anymore. I guess the only way really to know is to change the oil again. So I've discovered that after the car cooled down for a bit, the gearbox did actually select gears. So my money is on just contaminated oil for the minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to flush it. Obviously, dropping the pan and changing it a couple of times, as I've done, hasn't solved the problem. So what I'm going to do is you can see where I've looped the transmission cooler there that was part of the radiator, which was the original problem. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to stick one end in there, and I'm going to run the car, pump some oil out, and then put some back in and rinse and repeat until I get nice clean red oil. So of course I've got the wrong hose. I guess the return instead of feed gone to load on the floor. That's what we're doing. Car's running. We've got milkshake coming out. I'll stop the car when that gets to about 3 or 4 litres, and then refill and see how we go.
I don't have any audio for this clip, unfortunately, because the footage is from one of my security cameras. I'd actually finished the gearbox oil transfusion. I turned the car off, and I saw that it was starting to overheat. There was coolant coming out of the overflow, not massively, but it was definitely overheating. And then I saw a little pinhole in the radiator. I thought, okay, maybe something's about to give. And I had an extension lead in the engine bay for the to charge battery. So I picked that up just in case something happened. And as I did that, something did happen. The top radiator hose exploded in quite spectacular fashion. Made a very big bang and quite a mess.
So this is the aftermath. That made quite a bang. I should have changed that top hose. What I think happened was that the electric fan that I put in, which you may not be able to see under there, I think that wasn't working. I've also discovered that the alternator is not charging, but I presume that's a separate issue. We'll find out shortly. And when I turn the car off, obviously the water pump stops, water heats up, and it started burping, and then the weakest point went. I don't think there's any serious damage to anything, so I'm just going to change that hose with either, I suppose I'll get a generic one, a universal one, because I can reuse that when I change the engine. But I'm going to investigate now. I'm going to take that top hose off, and I'm going to investigate why the fan stopped working and why the alternator is not charging. Well, the relay works, if you can hear that. So there's got to be a power or earth issue to the fan. Found the problem. Hot side has fallen off. I'm quite annoyed with myself about that. Right, so that's all back together. So in theory we should get a fan now. There we go. How I didn't notice that wasn't working, I don't know. Final job for the weekend. I've confirmed that the alternator is not working. It did, I proved that with the meter. It's getting 12 volts to the exciter wire. The idiot light wire is working. That's actually what told me that there was a problem. So I guess I'm not sure if I can refurbish anything in there, or even if I can bench test it. I'll have to do some research, but probably that's another one for the list. So not a massively successful weekend. A couple of steps forwards, a couple of steps backwards, but I do feel like I'm a bit closer to getting it actually driving on the road.